All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Demetrius Andrade. Wow, I'm happy to say this. Apparently signing with Showtime. He will be on the Gervonta undercard, and he talked about a big fight taking place on Showtime, which, man, basically lets you know it's on and popping at 168 pounds. Let's talk, and that is the winner of Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Also mentioned Jermall Charlo. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 168-pound division, where it is now officially cracking. I am looking forward to this. Demetrius Andrade and I found out a little bit before the press conference took place in the comment section of one of my videos that Demetrius Andrade would be on the undercard for Gervonta Tank Davis and Hector Garcia, the fight that will be taking place January 7th in Washington, D.C. And then Demetrius Andrade was at the press conference and let out a lot of really good information. But before I get into that, let me welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you're a longtime subscriber or a new subscriber and supporter, this particular video, I'm going to say what's up to my man, Michael Johnson, Boxing Talk and More. Hope you're doing well. Definitely enjoy your videos. Don't always agree with you, man. You don't always agree with me, but always enjoy chopping it up with you, man. Thank you for your support. Also, thank you to everybody that supports in the super chats and the cash apps, in the live streams that we do, and in the super thanks for videos like this, where you can see it in the lower right-hand corner with a heart and a dollar sign. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and join in on the boxing conversations that we have going on a regular basis. But let's get into this, man. Demetrius Andrade, former 154-pound champion, former 160-pound champion, is fighting on this undercard, but more importantly than just that, against Nicholson, man. Shout out to my man. Can't wait to see the fight. Not really going to talk too much about that fight because there's so many more implications to him having signed than just the fight that he has going on. Obviously, he has to get past the guy and all of that. But when asked why he came over, he was asked, do you think that, by coming over to the PBC and fighting over here, that may improve your chances to get a shot against Canelo Alvarez? And Demetrius Andrade gave an absolutely great answer. And that was, look, man, ain't nothing going to promise a Canelo Alvarez fight. I'm not coming over here for that. I'm coming over here for the other fighters that are over at 168 pounds and the fights we can make in the PBC at 168 pounds. He says first name out of his mouth was Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, who you guys should know are fighting next year in a it's not a title fight, because there is no titles out there available other than the one that is with David Morrell with the WBA regular belt, because the rest of them are with Canelo Alvarez. And you guys waiting on Canelo Alvarez to fight any of these guys, man, please, I'm not waiting for that anymore. I don't believe that he has any intention on doing it. But Demetrius Andrade fighting the winner of Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, man, that is absolutely positively spectacular. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Demetrius Andrade, I've been favored him to beat Canelo Alvarez. He's a southpaw, very slick fighter, great footwork, great hand speed, more than a decent enough amount of power to keep somebody honest. Has been one of the best fighters in boxing, in my opinion, for years. However, he had made, in my opinion, taken some calculated risks in his career on the business side of things, which really didn't pan out. One thing had to first, and I'm without belaboring the point, right, was what happened with Rock Nation. But then the second one was going over there to Eddie Hearn and DAZN and thinking he could get a Canelo Alvarez fight or any other decent fight over there with them, because over the few years that he was there, they absolutely did none of that for him, right? You had him at 160 pounds. Why? When Canelo and Gennady Golovkin both had belts, Gennady Golovkin fights Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez beats him. Canelo Alvarez has three of the major championship belts, the WBA, the IBF, and the WBC, where Demetrius Andrade has the WBO. So you would think right there, boom, make the fight for undisputed at 160 pounds. What does Canelo Alvarez do? Canelo Alvarez says, it's not, obviously through his actions says, yeah, it's not that important to me, right? Now, when he gets to 168 pounds against guys that I do not believe are as skilled as Demetrius Andrade, at that point, he's trying to make history, right? But when it came to Demetrius Andrade, no thank you. Same thing with Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin fought several times over there on DAZN. Did it ever wind up being the case that it was going to be Demetrius Andrade? No. But I will say, this is my personal opinion, he did get a nice handy dose of some British fighters that looked to me as if they were juiced to the gills, but whatever. He wins the fight successfully, moves on. Now he's moving up to 168 pounds, and he's going to go over there and fight on a network where he's going to get some visibility and an opportunity to get in the ring with some of the best guys in that division. More as far as who I think it will probably be, I think it will probably be David Benavidez, because David Benavidez, I have him beating Caleb Plant. Now, he also said something about Jermall Charlo. Not unfortunately, but at this moment, rather, Jermall Charlo's not at 168 pounds. He's about to fight somebody. I can't remember the name of the guy that he was going to fight at 160 pounds, but he's still at 160 pounds. Jermall Charlo would need to be moving up to 168 pounds to make that fight happen. And I don't really see Jermall Charlo doing that until some of those belts open up at 168 pounds, which I think, is probably going to take until 2024, to do that, because you have Canelo Alvarez is supposed to be fighting John Ryder, and after that, he said he's going to fight 175. He's going to go back up to fight Bivol there. So, I don't see, especially the WBC, you can just count out the WBC stripping that dude for not defending his belts at 168, but at 168. Well, actually, he did defend it against Gennady Golovkin. But that was a voluntary. And see, this in the John Ryder fight, that'll be a voluntary too. The mandatory for him, for all these other guys, will probably wind up being in 2020. I suspect in 2024, late 2023, 2024. But whatever the case is, I'm just really glad to see Demetrius Andrade over there, where I've thought the dude has belonged for a long time, where he can get consistent fights against good fighters. Guys like Erislandy Lara, guys like Luis Ortiz, a bunch of Guillermo Rigondeaux, a bunch of guys that are in similar situations to Demetrius Andrade, or would have been in situations similar to Demetrius Andrade, because they're southpaws, they're slick fighters who can beat anybody on any given day. The PBC still finds ways to give those guys fights and get them in the ring with people. So, man, I think it's a great move. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.